Cannot be completed as dialed. Please consult your directory and call again, or ask your operator for assistance. This is a recording.
Good evening and welcome to the regular council meeting of March 21st. There's obviously a lot of elements that are going on here tonight, and we're going to, after a Pledge of Allegiance and invocation, we will be having a special honoring of an Outstanding Citizen Award. We'll go through consent agenda, then we have one action item, and then unscheduled public appearances. So with that, clerk, would you please take the roll? Here.
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 He said here.
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 All right, thank you very much. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be brought forth by Councilmember Poston, and after our invocation by Reverend Dr. Candace Lansbury from Chandler United Methodist Church. Pastor.
I invite you to pray with me. God of peace, we invite you to preside over this meeting. Even if we have different opinions, give us unity of spirit. Help us to each listen politely as others share their points of view. Help us to work as a unified team in combining ideas for a great outcome. Help us to work as a whole rather than as individuals trying to promote their own agendas. May we have a spirit of camaraderie in this room and work together on our shared mission of being a world-class city that provides an exceptional quality of life. God of wisdom, we pray that you will bless this meeting. Help us have fun, yet productive discussions that will broaden our perspectives. Help us to take the various ideas presented and think of ways to flesh them out. And if we do disagree, let it be on the content and not personality conflicts or power plays. Help us to resolve any disputes gracefully, be creative problem solvers, and have great team spirit. Help us to find principles that we all can agree on and put these into action. May all of these objectives tonight keep us on track. May they bond us together with a common goal. And may we actively participate rather than just passively listen. May this meeting be lively and productive, and may the desired outcomes be achieved. Amen.
Please go to the flag and join me for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Council Member. As I mentioned, we have one scheduled appearance tonight for Outstanding Citizen Award. And Councilmember Encinas, why don't you join me up front? I'd like to invite Chief DeAndrea, Chief Hargis, and everyone else who's coming up that I see standing. And tonight, we are proud to have the opportunity to recognize a heroic Chandler High School who stepped up and responded to an emergency event in South Chandler. Ethan Chekmek, aided by our Team Chandler first responders, stepped up in a moment of crisis. Ethan represents the best of our city, and we're proud to recognize him tonight.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Deanna. I'm the interim chief of police, and this is Chief Hargis from the fire department. And we are honored to be here today to bring forward Ethan Chakmak. If you can come forward for us, please. So on February 7th, a harrowing incident unfolded as a vehicle careened off the roadway, plunging into a nearby lake near Dobson and Queen Creek roads. As the emergency response teams arrived, they observed a courageous teenager, later identified as Ethan, on top of a sinking vehicle, attempting to break through the window to reach the unresponsive driver. Chandler Fire Crew Engine 285 took immediate action, initiating the planning phase of a water rescue. However, their efforts were complicated as the vehicle unexpectedly dislodged from the lake bed and began drifting away into the lake. Recognizing the urgency for immediate intervention, Officer Josh Mendez shred his duty equipment and together with the firefighters Richard Zittel and Brady Wetch, they bravely swam out to the floating vehicle.
At this point, those rescue crews worked together to break the windows of the vehicle so they could make access to the patient inside. 4 minutes after arriving on scene, those rescuers were able to pull the driver through the sunroof as the car became completely submerged. They secured the driver in a life vest and were able to bring that victim back to the shore with the help of the rescue swimmers, police officers, and firefighters on shore. Clearly, this is an incident where time is of the essence and critical decisions must be made in seconds. And we are thankful to the efforts of Ethan, Officer Mendez, and the members of Chandler Fire Crew Engine 285 for their actions during this unique and dangerous rescue operation. So on behalf of the Chandler Police and Fire Departments, we would like to present an award from each of us today to commend Ethan for taking immediate, selfless, and decisive action to help a person in need. Good job, Ethan.
Thank you very much. I'm deeply honored and humbled to be here today, standing in front of you guys. As a 16-year-old, I never imagined getting this much recognition. It fills me with immense pride for my actions to be acknowledged by the police and fire department who, sorry, I'm blanking here, who protect and serve our community. Well, I have flashcards. I want to express my gratitude to the police and fire department for their unwavering support and for inspiring me to be a better citizen. And thank you for recognizing my actions and for this incredible honor. I will continue to work hard to uphold the values of selflessness, courage, and honor that you exemplify every single day. Thank you.
All right, who's our photo taker? Alexis.
Smaller group or 2 lines for me. That'll work.
Thank you again.
Councilmember Ellis, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We certainly are honored and love to see our community leading by example. Next on our agenda tonight is our consent agenda. We had opportunity to review these particular items on Monday, and they're all listed as a single vote unless council would like to take any of them off for action. If not, a motion would be in order.
Mayor.
Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Move to approve the consent agenda of March 21st, 2024, regular meeting items 1 through 31.
Second.
We've got a motion by Councilmember Stewart, a second by Vice Mayor Harris. Any recusals or any others to be stalked? Comments? Councilmember Orlando.
Yeah, Mayor, for item 7, the introduction of the silk stocking organization. I want to thank all the residents there helping us out. Particularly want to thank Councilmember Sepulveda, former Councilmember Sepulveda, for his leading efforts and bringing me involved with it early enough. And of course, Derek Horn for bringing it to fruition. But most of all, thanks to you ladies and gentlemen out there for making this a reality. It's been a long, long time. We finally got to the end game here. And sorry I couldn't make the photo op, but I was umpiring softball down south here. You guys all knew that. So, but you know my heart was with you, right? All right. So, Mayor, with that, I want to thank you for all your effort, Councilmember Sepulveda, and of course, Derek Horn for making this reality, working with the original.
You know, I was actually going to say all those things and more tonight. I realized there's one more meeting next month, so I'm saving it.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, Council, seeing no other comments, please vote.
Councilmember Ellis?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Very good. Next on our agenda is an action item related to our quick trip. My plan at this point is that we'll invite our staff to come up and talk, invite the proponents, those who are, their plan is for this project. We will have interaction with them as council. In both cases, we have a stack of speaker cards, pros and cons, cons and pros. We will work through those, and then we will deliberate or continue as according to seeing what council wants to do at this point. So with that, if I could have our staff come on up, make a presentation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. All right, let's see. Could you guys see that?
Yes.
Yep, perfect. All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Ben. I am a city planner here with the City of Chandler Planning Division. This is a hearing on PLH 23-0044, Quick Trip Convenience Store and Gas Station. This is a proposed location. It's the star in yellow. It's on the northwest corner of Dobson and Ray Road. The request before you is an amendment to the PAD zoning for commercial uses to permit a fuel service station with convenience store, and also a preliminary development plan for site layout and building architecture for a fuel station with convenience store. A little bit about the proposal itself. The site, it's about 2.51 net acres. The proposed convenience store would be about 5,312 square feet with a fuel canopy with 8 pumps. That would be approximately 7,287 square feet. And per code, 30 parking spaces are required and 50 are being proposed by the applicant. Just a little bit of elevations for you. This is just the front elevation that you'll be seeing off of, what is that? Dobson, sorry. Neighborhood outreach. So the applicant mailed out notice to all property owners within 600 feet and to HOA and registered neighborhood organizations within a quarter mile of the subject site. A neighborhood meeting was held on October 3rd of 2023 with 25 neighbors in attendance. A meeting sign was posted on site and on social media via Nextdoor. And as of writing this memo, staff is aware of support and opposition to the request. Some neighborhood concerns, potential transients, increase in crime and traffic. Let's see here. So Staff has received an opposition. We have a total of 29 confirmed Chandler residents that are in opposition to the request. Two of them are business tied back to business addresses, and then 7 of the opposition did not provide any address. So in total, we have 38 emails and letters in opposition. And then in support, we have 10 confirmed Chandler residents, and then 3 did not provide any addresses, with a total of 13 total emails and letters of support. All right. In addition, there was a individual or resident who uh, spread a spread a petition, and so there are 2 petitions that were provided. One was online, and that was through change.org. Now, for that one, we have 44 stated Chandler residents, and the reason why we say stated Chandler residents is that no exact address is provided. It just states Chandler as a city and Arizona as a state. And then 52 non-Chandler residents, so these are people that live either in other cities within the valley or other parts of the country, such as Florida, California, New York, etc. And then 1 with no city being provided, with a total of 97 total signatures for the online petition. And then we also did receive a written petition with 214 confirmed Chandler residents, 78 non-Chandler residents. So once again, that's people that live in the surrounding cities or other parts of the country. And then 109 with no address provided, for a total of 401 total signatures. In total, 258 total Chandler residents did sign those petitions in opposition to the request. All right, so for this section, I'm going to have our city traffic engineer, Dana Alvidrez, to come up and assist with this component of it.
Excuse me 1 second here. I understand that the applicant is actually requesting a continuance at this point, and that would mean that they would go back and have further meetings with neighbors, and we would pick up this case at another time. Mr. Ray, is that your desire for your applicant?
Mayor, members of council, good afternoon. Brendan Ray, 1850 North Central, together with Brian House, we are representing Quick Trip in this application. We understand that within the past few days, there have been a flurry of activity, including people that have expressed additional concerns with this case, as well as people that have expressed support. And we feel it only prudent, given the short time frame with which we've learned of this, to request a continuance, because we feel that there is a lot of emotion behind this, and that some of these people that might be opposing it might not have the facts as it relates to traffic, crime, things of those nature. And so we would request a continuance to have a neighborhood meeting, to be able to sit down with people. If we need to sit down in their living rooms, sit down on their front porches, back porches, wherever, to be able to sit down and talk with them about this case, so that there's a clear understanding of what this is and what it is that we are proposing.
Thank you. City Attorney, is there a motion and second required for that on our part to continue this? Just refresh me.
Mayor, I would recommend that you take a motion and a vote on this.
Okay.
Mayor, question. Mayor, question.
Councilmember Poston, or who had a question? Councilmember Orlando.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Ray, so help us with a time frame here. 60 days, 90 days? How far out do you need to be able to do what your concern is right now, more information, more gathering data and letting our residents know, so that we can make that motion?
Sure, thank you. Through the mayor, council member Orlando, we would request a 30-day continuance.
Just, you can be able to do all this?
30 days, we are. This is the priority number 1. My partner, Brian Greathouse, and Daniel Chambers with Quick Trip have already themselves personally gone door to door and knocked on doors. And so this is priority number 1, to get out there and to get the information. We, of course, will make a public records request to make sure we've got and are contacting people via email, people via mail, however we need to get the word out. But we're going to run at breakneck pace to make sure we're out in front of as many people as we can. We think that it will take us, and I'll have to confer with staff on the time frame for a notice, but 2 weeks should be enough time for us to have a neighborhood meeting and to present to those neighbors exactly what it is that We are proposing it again to address some of the concerns and make sure that the boogeyman, as I call it, that we're able to give them some facts that hopefully dispels that.
So, okay. So Mayor, with that, I'll make a motion that we postpone, we continue this to the, I'm assuming it's the April
18th.
18th, correct?
Correct.
The April 18th council meeting.
So we've got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Or second from Councilmember Encinas. Seeing no other comments, council please vote.
Councilmember Ellis,
No, that's less than 30 days.
Yeah, that,
Councilmember Ellis,
Yes.
okay.
Can you
This-
hear me?
We can
yes,
hear you.
we got. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Motion
Thank you,
carries
Mayor.
unanimously.
Motion carries. That means that we will not be furthering discussion on this tonight, but there will be an opportunity to meet with the applicant, and this will come back forth on April 18th.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do have two unscheduled public appearances, and I do want to thank you, all of our community who was out here tonight. I know your time is valuable, and hopefully we will see you, or you'll have your voice heard at our next time. I do have two speaker cards, as I mentioned, and I will take them in the order that I received them. Stephen Brenner. Let's wait about a minute, let people further out. All right, I guess everyone is going to leave is left pretty much. So our first speaker card is from Stephen Brenner. Mr. Brenner. Mr. Brenner, you're in Sun Lakes, right? Not in Chandler proper?
That is correct.
Okay, if you'd state your name and address, and you have up to 3 minutes to share your thoughts with us, sir.
Yes, hi. My name is Stephen Brenner, and I live at 9329 East Cherrywood Drive, Sun Lakes, Arizona.
Thank you.
All right, so hi. I'm here today to address the extremely dirty conditions on North Dobson Road, Chaparral Way, and other surrounding streets due to the construction at Intel's Ocotillo site. The streets were very clean all the way through 2022, but starting a year ago, dirt was consistently being dragged onto Dobson Road and kind of turning the place into a mess. I've talked with Intel's community affairs manager, and she said it was Chandler's responsibility to keep the streets clean. On some days, cars create a cloud of dirt and dust as they drive up and down the road. It has to be really bad for the homes that back up to Dobson Road. Their backyards and homes just must be very dirty. I've communicated with Intel, and they've told me via email that it's the city of Chandler's responsibility to keep the streets clean. I know perhaps they want to help, but maybe they don't have the authority or budget or time or whatever. That's why I'm here today, is to speak to the city council, and hopefully some additional action can take place. I know that they have recently, increased some cleaning efforts, but it's still falling way short. The only thing that I have for comparison is I know that I've seen many buildings constructed on Price Road with barely any dust or dirt being dragged onto the streets. I'm kind of thinking, why can't Intel adopt that kind of model for their construction? Others clearly have shown that they can keep the neighborhood clean. That's really it. Thank you for letting me speak, and I certainly hope that something could be done to clean up by what is the dirtiest street in Chandler. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brenner. And we cannot directly address you because this is unscheduled, but City Manager, would you please have our staff look into uh, the concerns expressed?
Yes, sir. All right, thank you.
Our next unscheduled speaker is Bridget Vega. Hello, Ms. Vega. And again, council cannot address you. Please give your name and address, and you have up to 3 minutes.
Bridget Vega. Due to safety, I'm not disclosing address. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I stand here to be a voice for the voiceless and the children, as we shouldn't have to beg or sit here playing as the community is crying for help, or simply asking everyone to do their jobs to protect the children. As CUSD board has given major red flags of covering up sexual assault, teen violence, bullying, including rape, drugs, going on in the campuses, in the bathrooms that kids won't even use the restrooms. They don't feel safe. Leadership from the top down starts with everyone taking action, as actions speak louder than words. Thank you, Vice Mayor Harris, for speaking at Preston's Walk last month. But Mayor and Council, the silence is deafening, as Jalen Collins, Santan Valley teen who attended Queen Creek High School, that was shot and killed at Snedeker Park. As a community, we would like continued condemnation on teen violence. It's perplexing why the City Council has been so silent on this case, especially when Vice Mayor Odie Harris and Mayor Kevin Harkey have been so vocal. Be an upstander. If you see something, say something, do something. Please keep the Collins family in your prayers. If we can take a moment of silence for Jalen Collins, Preston Lord, and all the youth that have been assaulted physically, mentally, sexually, and for all the youth that has been murdered due to senseless acts of violence.
Next on our,
Still have 56 seconds.
are you done speaking?
No, I'm still honoring the moment of silence for the families.
Okay. And I believe we did that, but
Okay, rise up, Chandler, and do better. Chandler, this ends with all of us taking action.
thank you. Next on our agenda are current events, and I will start. Afterwards, we will resume with our study session related to our budget. First, I'd like to talk about the Intel announcement. I think many of us up on the days, if not all, were there. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to welcome President Biden to Chandler as he announced additional investments from the CHIPS and Science Act. The White House's announcement builds upon Intel's capacity, expanding innovation, opportunity, and high-quality jobs in our community. And these investments have spawned a unique ecosystem of semiconductor industry manufacturing, suppliers, and innovators. Our business-friendly tax climate, regulatory policies, reliable infrastructure, and world-class educational partners have helped cement Chandler as a leader in this technology. I'm always proud to see Chandler recognized on the national stage, and yesterday was a wonderful reminder of the exceptional impact our city has. And Matt Burdick, I'd say the one thing that I was missing, I was the only one that didn't say once in a generation opportunity. I lost count of how many other times and how many other people said that, but it clearly was not said by me. Next announcement has to do with the National League of Cities, and perhaps other council members will also be talking on this, but we had the opportunity to travel to DC to meet with our federal delegates, the CHIPS Act, and our peers from other municipalities. We had time to sit down with our congressional representatives and staff to discuss Chandler's federal priorities, pain points, and how we could collaborate on behalf of our residents. It was an impactful time. a great time for us to be together working on behalf of our joint constituents, and we're very honored to be there. And thirdly, I'd like to announce the hiring of our new police chief, Chief Brian Chapman. Chief Chapman currently serves as the City of Phoenix's Assistant Police Chief and has over 28 years of law enforcement practice. He will be working to continue our long tradition of being one of the top law enforcement agencies in the nation and is scheduled to join Team Chandler in early April. And then lastly, want to wish everybody a happy Easter, which will be this Sunday, and as well as this year, Cesar Chavez Day, which is also Sunday the 31st. Councilmember Encinas.
Yeah, and I'll kick it off right from there. Thank you for mentioning Cesar Chavez Day, which is again March 31st. It is actually Cesar Chavez's birthday. This is a time that provides an opportunity for our community to come together and celebrate his work, organizing and advocating for labor rights. Many residents may not know that Cesar Chavez had a lot of history right here in Chandler. One of the first United Farm Worker national offices was right here in downtown Chandler, right on Boston Street. The building still stands. It's a place that I frequent as a little kid because my mom worked there. So I had the opportunity to be with Cesar Chavez and be part of my history and activism. So I do invite everyone. Our DE&I division has a variety of events for the community to participate through the end of the month. Starting next week on Friday, we're having cafecito and conversations, which members of the community are able to share their stories about Cesar Chavez and have sort of reunion about that. And then on Saturday, the 30th, right here in downtown Chandler, we're doing a day of service for a cleanup in the neighborhood, providing the residents materials to do some cleanup work in their neighborhoods to freshen up the area, as well as have a demonstration right here in our courtyard right here of our city hall, a presentation and just doing a proclamation of Cesar Chavez Day. So I invite you guys to come and be a part of that here on the 30th as well. So thank you.
First time in history, I have no announcements. Thank you.
Wow, I'm speechless. Councilmember Stewart.
Okay, 5 minutes. I was writing notes. I thought I had 5 more minutes to go. No, just hey,
exactly.
So family Easter celebration is upon us, and so I have some exciting news. Next weekend is Easter celebration, so come on down at Chandler AJ Park, Dr. Chandler AJ Park on Friday, AJ Chandler Park on Friday, March 29th, from 5:30 to 8:30 to view live dance performances, play carnival games, and hop down the 24-carat trail collecting Easter eggs. You know, this is one of my favorite events, but I think it's I think no matter who you are or where your spiritual higher power is, the resurrection of Jesus is a time for us to spiritually renew. It's a time to start over in the spring, and as a community, it gives us the opportunity to look at fresh new ideas and move forward into the season. So come together as a community, whatever it is you do to celebrate Easter or the resurrection of Jesus. Have a great weekend and hope we see you downtown.
Councilmember Orlando.
Thank you, Mayor. I think Ramadan's still happening now. So for those of you that celebrate Ramadan, happy Ramadan. And I think Passover is later next month, right? So we'll save that for the next council meeting. All right.
Councilmember Poston.
All right, Mayor, I'm gonna flip my tube so we can end on kind of an upbeat note. But I think our congressional delegation to NLC was very valuable. One thing that I did get to do, I was appointed to the NLC's Public Safety and Crime Prevention Committee. One of the items that we did discuss with fellow council members and delegates from across the country was mental health, which has been such an important issue for Chandler. We saw a speaker talk a little bit. I think it's related to that, some of the issues that we have with our young people in the community. So that was very valuable and important, and it was an excellent committee to be on, and I think that's important work that we can bring right back here to Chandler. And then finally, as I think some of us up here know, when you're looking down the barrel of being an empty nester, you start looking back. And some of my favorite pictures are from Chandler National Little League. So they have their opening day this Saturday. So I'll be going out to sort of speak and welcome them on behalf of the council. I know they have been
an amazing representation of the city of Chandler, all the way from the toddlers on up. So if you want to have some fun, they always do a great big event out at Snedeker Park. I'm really excited to be invited to go out there. I don't think they'll let me throw out the first pitch, but I can try. I would embarrass myself, but it's just a great event and want to just tell them play ball, have a great season.
I think I did throw a strike my last time out there. I caught the corner.
Oh, laying the challenge down.
Right.
I'm waiting to throw the opening ball to something, okay? Just to something.
City manager.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our meeting. Council, again, we've got resumption of our work session on capital improvement projects.